The 2023 CNI Rooftop Solar Project of the Year, as voted by the readers of Solar Builder, is the Badia Spices Warehouse in Sweetwater, Florida. Engineered and installed by Salt Energy, this self-financed solar project is the largest privately owned solar project in Florida as of August 2023. This gets bonus points for being located in Miami-Dade County, which has the most stringent standards for solar in the country. It also shows what's possible when company leadership has the foresight to discuss a building's solar potential before remodeling. Here to tell us about it is David Call, VP of Engineering and Operations for Salt Energy, and Pepe Badia, President of Badia Spices. Well, hey, David and Pepe, thanks for taking the time, and congrats on winning one of our Project of the Year awards for 2023. We don't see a lot of self-finance systems of this size, and so that was a very notable thing. So Pepe, I did want to start with you. I'm curious about your initial interest in what drove this project. I know you've been involved in solar for a couple of years there.
My third project with David, I'm honestly, we have so much faith. This is the nicest man that we've dealt with. We brag about this to our customers, to the Publix, Walmart's, ShopRite's, Kroger's. Every time we make a presentation, this is front and center because this shows being good citizens in the future. This speaks volumes for us, and we learn every other day. We learn more from them because he doesn't walk away. He keeps track of how we're performing and sends us reports, and it is fantastic. It was the best thing we ever did.
I was hoping you could just share a little bit more about kind of the ROI you were thinking of a project of this size, and if it's performing how you expected.
He did all the math, and it was between 7 and 8 years to get our money back. And I think it's going to be sooner than that. I think if the numbers that we're seeing is going to happen earlier than that.
So the IRR that we expected was 13.8, which is a fantastic number. And the payback was, like Pepe said, just around 7 years. And with the update I did, I think we're doing a little better, possibly because Florida Power and Light has raised rates a little bit. And I think it's going to offset about $450,000 for Pepe this year in his business. And it looks like the new payback is 6.8 years from what I just saw. And so it's slightly ahead of schedule, and I think that's a testament that solar actually does work, and it can work in South Florida.
So David, give us a little bit of an overview of portfolio, kind of your space in the market.
We started out with very humble beginnings in the solar industry down in the Florida Keys, which mostly it was residential and small commercial projects. But it was a great place to grow up in this business because it's one of the most challenging places to get the engineering for the systems right. And also the clientele are more challenging because they expect high quality. So getting a project like this permitted in Miami-Dade in and of itself is a major challenge. So we approached this project through our long-term relationship with SunPower and their racking partner, PanelClaw. The tools that they bring are far beyond what the resources that SALT internally would have to bring that excellent quality engineering and design tool to bear on this project. It was a long effort to go through all the details with them, but we were successful in the end, and I think we paved the way for many more like this.
What else happened on the rooftop in terms of, I know you kind of moved a location of the HVAC units as a part of maybe a remodeling that happened beforehand. I was hoping you could dive into what the impact was of what you did on the roof that helped even, the modeling of the system itself.
We had a dialogue going about, we were going to do this building when the time was right, but there was a ton of remodeling work. So along the way, there were two things that I suggested we pay attention to. One was keeping the roof free, and that was the chiller that he ultimately decided to purchase. I just shared with them how much of a benefit it could be for the solar if we didn't sprinkle air conditioning units all over the rooftop like is often done. and he Pepe took that idea and ran with it, and he analyzed quotes from several suppliers, and he liked the economics as well. So it was an easy decision with multiple benefits, I think, both economically for him. They had the place to put it on the ground and kept the roof pristine for us for solar. And then there was another part that was really important, and that was there were huge upgrades going into the site to turn it from a more of an office building to a production facility. So they actually added 2 brand new transformer feeds and a ton of load to the building. There was a 1500 kVA and a 2000 kVA transformer that brought all new feeds into the building. And we only connected to the new feeds with this. So we left the original power that was running the building for the other client completely untouched. But that was an opportunity because the electrical tie-in for something of this size is a big deal. It turns out that the electrical contractor that Pepe was using was one that we had previously worked with. So I was able to call him up and talk to him about the concerns I had about backfeeding through the switchgear. Out of those conversations, we ended up upsizing the bus bars for all of the main switchgear so that we could put backfeed breakers right on the bus bars, which is very unusual to be able to do unless you have forethought to design the switchgear in order to take solar directly.
It just goes to show the when you have a partner that is interested in wanting to do something like this, like Pepe and his company, the things you can find out, right, and like that you can prepare for ahead of time.
So one of the things that Pepe mentioned earlier was at the end of I told him at the end of the year he's going to get a check, because we have been actually selling back a little bit of electricity every single month on both meters. We split the system to feed 2 meters under 2 Tier 3 agreements. So we're actually accumulating kilowatt hour credits on both sides now. His production's not fully ramped up yet and things like that. So that's probably going to go away in the long term. But for now, those credits actually wipe out all the demand charges. So both meters will have a 0 bill at the end of the year. There was one other thing too with we selected a place for the inverters that was located on a mezzanine as part of the new construction. And we were able to bring all the inverters inside, which is our preference if possible. It's not always possible on a retrofit, but in this case, that was another big win. And so there's nothing on the roof except a few wires coming down to the inverters underneath.
It is one of the cleanest looking rooftop projects I've ever seen in my life, really. So that's pretty fascinating.
It was all because we could work ahead, plan ahead.
That was all the questions I had. I just want to thank you both for taking the time. And again, congrats. This is a really cool project, and I'm very excited to see what's next for both Badia and Salt Energy going forward. So everyone, thanks for taking the time, and congrats.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.